Alrighty, we are live. And we're here today to talk about a couple of things. First things first is talking about some of that UFC talk, boy. So, yeah, Conor McGregor wins the lightweight title at UFC 205 in New York City. He becomes a two-weight world champion in two weight classes. Pretty impressive. But less than 2 days later, he was stripped of the featherweight belt. And the interim title holder, Jose Aldo Jr., formerly undefeated for over 10 years, becomes the full-fledged featherweight champion and takes it off the guy who had to vacate it. The same guy who knocked him out in 13 seconds. I had a lot of time for Jose Aldo. But let's be honest, the guy pulls out of a lot of fights ever since he came to the UFC in 2011 or 12. Might have been even a little earlier than that, but around 2011, 12. I can't remember exactly when, but the guy's pulled out of 5 fights. Okay, we waited 2 years to see him fight Conor McGregor, and he got knocked out in 13 seconds. Then, Jose Aldo, after being a champion for so long, you know, winning controversial decisions like his fight with Chad Mendes, where he got his ass handed to him. But probably just like Michael Bisping and Dan Henderson's fight, if I watched it again, I could probably say, yeah, Aldo probably won on points by round on round as you score an MMA fight. But as far as a fight goes, he got his ass kicked. Okay, he was swollen, busted up, cut. He hit Chad Mendes and dropped him after the bell. Dirty. I don't give a shit what he says. Oh, I couldn't hear them. No, you could hear them. You knew what you were doing. Jose Aldo Jr. has become, I can't believe Conor mind-fucked him so badly. I mean, look at the shit that he's been talking. Jose, you know, calling people pussies, I'm the real champion, just a full delusional rant. A whole lot of delusional rants about himself. The only reason we ever got, and this is another thing, like the Conor McGregor, you know, the haters they don't want to talk about, the Jose Aldo defenders. The only reason we ever got Nate Diaz versus Conor McGregor is because Jose Aldo pulled out. But he was meant to fight RDA. Yeah. Leading up to that fight with RDA, Jose Aldo talked a lot of shit. A lot of shit. He talked a lot of shit, said anywhere, anytime, any place, pussy. I'm the real champion. RDA pulls out with a bruised foot. Jose Aldo is nowhere to be found. Now, we get the Nate Diaz, Conor McGregor, I don't know, debacle. We've got 2 good fights. And I don't understand what people are complaining. Even if you hate Conor and you hate Nate, at least you got 2 good fights out of it. Right? 2 interesting build-ups. That's entertainment. That's fucking brilliant. So thank you, Jose. Thank you for not showing up when you say you're going to show up. So this guy fights at UFC 200. UFC 200. What a joke that show is. UFC 200. Jose Aldo Jr. People said Daniel Cormier stunk up the joint. Hey, at least DC tried to engage with Anderson Silva, but in DC's defense, he's fighting probably the best striker in MMA history. The most effective, the most creative, except for maybe John Bones Jones, but the most creative. Like, Silva is a fucking scary dude. And, you know, Cormier tried to stand with him, but he went back to wrestling because he didn't want to get knocked out. And I don't blame him. People booed that fight. What really stunk up the joint, along with Lesnar and Hunt's fight, which wasn't too bad, what really stunk up the joint was the boring snooze jab fest from Jose Aldo Jr. running from Frankie Edgar for 5 rounds and throwing jabs. Now, Floyd Mayweather Jr. is given so much crap about fighting like that, but Jose Aldo Jr. gets praised like a hero. He's not a hero. He's a fucking douchebag. His body hasn't looked the same ever since the USADA rules came in. So he's probably juicing hardcore like a lot of those Brazilians do. That's reality. A lot of Brazilians love to juice. Just like in the Pride days, they'd encourage you to take steroids. Juiced. So that shit fight stunk up 200. Then we had the boring fight with Brock Lesnar and Mark Hunt, but Brock Lesnar won fair and square. Mark Hunt's an idiot for not landing that shot that he wanted to land, isn't he? So not enough urgency. But what's interesting about UFC 200 is John Jones and Brock Lesnar's drug tests, the failed drug tests, were known. And they pulled John Jones, but they didn't pull Brock Lesnar. Why? Because they pulled Conor from the head, Conor and Nate from the top of the card, and they didn't want their card to fall apart any more than what it was, because John Jones had to be pulled. And imagine if they had to pull Brock Lesnar as well. The card would have been fucking finished. But that's corruption. That is corruption by the UFC. Chuck Liddell and Matt Hughes are now free. Well, they've been fired by the UFC because it sold for $4.2 billion, which is something the WWE would never sell for. $4.2 billion. That's sold for more than what Star Wars sold for, to put some fucking context on it. $4.2 billion. And they can't afford to look after UFC legends Chuck Liddell and Matt Hughes. I don't really fucking like Matt Hughes. I never thought he was very good, but Chuck is the man. Okay, he's got brain damage and fucking he's punch drunk because he put on such great fights. You know, he's getting knocked out or they're getting knocked out. You got to respect that. Not like that faggot Jose Aldo Jr. I am the champion. I am the champion. You're a faggot. You've turned out to be a faggot. Like, I hate to say it. That's what's happened. You're a pussy. You are the pussy, Jose. You had the chance to fight Conor McGregor, yet you go around saying he's the pussy. Okay. Conor's never pulled out of a fight. Did you know that? Faggot, he's always turned up. Oh, I have a little bruised rib. That was the first. Oh, yeah, remember that? That's why it got put off the first time, because he had a little bruised rib. What a load of crap. Anthony Pettis missed weight. So Max Holloway and him are not fighting for an interim world title. That the interim world title fight, the current interim champion is waiting for the winner of that interim title fight. Whatever. Anthony Pettis missed weight, so fuck him. Hopefully Holloway wins. You know, if it's too much, don't cut that far. That's all it is. Conor McGregor, I do not think he should fight at welterweight, though. I think that's a bit much because most of those welterweights cut from 200 pounds and fight at 200 pounds. So Conor has to work to get to 170. It's like 168. So he's not even cutting weight. He's not 170. However, there is, if you look at Hulk Hogan's Facebook page, there's been a lot of talk about John Cena and Conor McGregor. Who I want to fight, and you see, if you want to see dumb wrestling fans make stupid opinions, just go look at Hulk's comment section. Unbelievable. Ugh, was what happened to Punk not proof enough? That you can't just go to the #1 mixed martial arts fucking organization in the world and win? It just doesn't happen. Brock Lesnar, you lost his first. Actually, Brock Lesnar won his first MMA fight. He lost his first fight in the UFC. Yeah. Don't worry about the skill set and the massive size and strength. Don't worry about that shit. I think CM Punk's going to get his ass whooped again if he gets into the octagon. So that is some UFC talk. Pettis misses weight. I kind of hope Matt Brown wreaks Cowboy. Cowboy does things that annoy me. Like, almost to the point where the dude seems kind of fake. I don't know. He's a good fighter, though, and he turns up. So that'll be a good fight, Matt Brown versus Donald Cerrone. But UFC 206, I don't think I'm going to get it. And this is not really UFC talk, but this is boxing. Joseph Parker will fight Andy Ruiz Jr. for the WBO World Heavyweight Championship. I'm not paying $60 for that garbage. Sorry. I'll stream it illegally, but no, I do not want to pay $60 for that fight. But there will be a new World Heavyweight Champion of the WBO this weekend, and his name is Joseph Parker. Believe that. So that's my UFC talk. A little bit of talk. Oh, and one of my oldest subs, or I should really remember your name. What was your name? Ask me a question. I'm just bringing up your question that you asked me. Sorry, people. Bear with me for a second. Ratchet Gank. That's if he's still my subscriber. I couldn't see him in my subscription list, but who do you think would win between McGregor and Khabib? It could go either way. I reckon if Conor McGregor can land that left hand, he will knock Khabib out. But if Khabib grabs a hold of him, then it's over. Unless Conor can get out of the round and then get back on the feet. But yeah, that's really a 50-50 sort of a fight. Anyway, I hope that answered your question, Ratchet Gank, and thank you for being my #1 subscriber all this time. Everyone else, have a good day, take care, and I will be back.